Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rizki Annisa Putri. I am from PBI 1 2018. So today I'm going to answer the question of TEFL methodology. The first question is mention and explain briefly the components of communication process. Communication process is exchanging verbal and non-verbal message. So there are 6 points of communication process. The first is context. Every communication proceeds with context. This context may be physical, social, chronological, or cultural. And the second is sender or encoder. Sender or encoder is a person who sends the message. A sender makes use of symbols, words or graphics or visual aids to convey the message and produce the required process. And the third is message. Message is a key idea that the sender wants to communicate. Communication process begins with deciding about the message to be conveyed. And the fourth is medium. Medium is to exchange or transmit the message. The sender must choose an appropriate medium for transmitting the message, else the message might be conveyed to the desired recipients. And the fifth is recipient or decoder. Recipient or decoder is a person for whom the message is intended, aimed, or targeted. And the last is feedback. Feedback is the main component of communication process, as it permits the sender to analyze the efficiency of the message. And also it helps the sender in confirming the correct interpretation of message by the decoder. And the second question is, why do humans need a language? Language is a vital part of human connection. Language allows us to share our ideas, thoughts, and feelings with others. And also, language is useful for our communication. And then the third question is, please give your opinion about the period, Dutch period, Japanese period, and independence period of English teaching in Indonesia. Which one do you think the best English teaching period? Okay, the first is the Dutch period. In my opinion, this period is effective period. Why? Because TFL was taught from junior high school or MULO to the senior high school. In addition, students still had learned this period. In fact, they improved their English fast by reading a number of books. So I think this is the best periods. And then the Japanese period is, in this period there are a few changes, such as the education, and Japanese become second language, and Indonesian or Bahasa Indonesia become the national language. But I think it would be very difficult for foreign language. And then the independence period. This period will be independence, but in this period, most of the dictionaries were English to Dutch. It would be a big problem for the student who doesn't know the Dutch. And the Central Inspector of the English Instruction faced the way to improve TEFL in Indonesia. So I think the best English teaching period is the independence period, because English textbooks began to appear and English to Indonesian dictionaries were gradually available. The teachers were getting better as they were graduated. And then the fourth question is, in your opinion, what is the status of English compared to Indonesian nowadays? So it is useful to know something about historical, political, socio-cultural, and linguistic factors have shaped its status and function over the last century. The use of English in Indonesia has developed in the context of post-colonial educational competency building, and more recently the need to support development, in particular its role in state education. Okay, the last question is, please explain briefly about the function of English in Indonesia. The current status function English in Indonesia. English as an international or global language underpinned by its wide use in a range of fields such as politics, diplomacy, international trade and industry, commerce, science and technology, education, the media, information technology, and popular culture. So I think that's all for today's. The light I say is Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.